We look at Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos and think of them as the wealthiest men alive. Wealth was once reserved for those in power, rulers, kings, and emperors. However, as time moves on and the fundamentals of government shift, businessmen begin to have the same power as rulers. Today, we're going to look at the top 10 richest rulers in the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Kings of Luxury. Mansa Musa, the king of the Mali Empire from 1280 through 1337, was once thought to be the wealthiest man in the world. He was the 10th emperor of the Mali Empire, an Islamic state in West Africa. Musa conquered 24 cities and all of the surrounding districts. During his reign, Mali was the largest producer of gold in the entire world. Although he was hands down the wealthiest person of the Middle Ages, modern historians have a challenging time quantifying Musa's wealth compared to modern money. Zhao was the emperor of China in 1048 through 1085. He was known as Emperor Shenzong of Song in China. In the modern era, his wealth is incalculable. He struggled in battle against not only the Vietnamese, but the western provinces as well. He invited more than 5,000 Muslim men to move to China and fight as mercenaries, creating the northeast province of China. He died at the age of 36 from an unspecified illness. Akbar, the most well-known emperors of India's Mughal dynasty, ruling from 1542 through 1605. In modern terms, his wealth was immeasurable. He was well known as Akbar the Great. Because of his focus on military power, he was able to subjugate most of the Indian subcontinent. Because of his inclusion to an open religious community, he developed a strong and stable economy. During his rule, the Mughal Empire tripled in size and wealth. One of the more disreputable leaders in Egypt's recent history is Hosni Mubarak. He was a long-running president of the country and was overthrown following the Arab protest in 2011 after 30 years in office. His net worth is approximately $70 billion. However, it was reported that he may have stolen upwards of $700 billion from the Egyptian people, though this was never confirmed. Muammar Gaddafi was the longtime ruler of Libya. His net worth is over $200 billion. His rule began in 1969 until his death in 2011. Gaddafi, after seizing power, converted Libya into a republic, governed by his command council, killed by National Transitional Council militants in 2011. Much like most rulers, his leadership is divided on who you ask. Some will say he helped the people of Libya through reformations and improvements to their society, while others will say he is an authoritarian dictator that violated human rights and financed global terrorism. One of the most feared leaders in modern society is Mr. Vladimir Putin. Not only is he feared, but he has amassed an extreme amount of wealth. In reports in 2018, Putin's salary was only about $116,000. However, he has assets tied to numerous banks and investments in the West. He is Russia's longest-serving ruler since Joseph Stalin, and with the new legislation that was passed in July, he could continue to rule until 2036, giving him time to make his $200 billion net worth grow even more. William the Conqueror, whose modern-day net worth is over $229 billion, was the first Norman king of England, reigning from 1066 through 1087. He was a motherless son, born of a king and his mistress. So many thought he did not deserve the throne. There were many contenders to the throne. When William built a massive fleet and invaded England in 1066, he killed King Harold at the Battle of Hastings and took the throne for himself. Mir Osman Ali Khan was an Indian royal from 1911 through 1967. His net worth was over $230 billion. In 1937, Time featured him on its cover as the world's richest person. In 1948, the Indian Army invaded and annexed his land. After he left the ruling state, he devoted his life and wealth to serve the people, building hospitals, schools, and libraries. Nikolai Romanov was the Tsar of Russia from 1868 through 1918. His net worth is approximately $300 billion in modern money. He was the last emperor of all of Russia. Views on Romanov's politics are questionable depending on who you ask, but it is clear he spearheaded the Russian Reformation. Once Germany declared war on Russia, beginning World War I, Nikolai renounced the throne for himself and his son. After the Tsar abdicated his rule, he and his family were exiled to Siberia. 1 year later, they were executed. The last of their family remains were discovered in 2007. They are still waiting to be delivered back to Russia and reunited with the rest of their family. Augustus Caesar, the Roman emperor from 63 BC through 14 AD, would have had a net worth of over $4 trillion in modern money. He was the first Roman emperor reigning until his death. He was the founder of Roman Principate. He has held the title of one of the most effective and controversial leaders in all of human history. He granted himself lifetime rulership, but refused to be titled a king or monarch. He enlarged the empire dramatically, annexing Egypt, Dalmatia, Pannonia, and more states, expanding possessions in Africa. He reformed the Roman system of taxation and rebuilt a new way of life for the Romans. Thank you for watching Kings of Luxury. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and ring the bell notification to receive updates on Kings of Luxury.